Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Megan Lee and I bring you some of the most notorious true crime cases in Asia that people around the globe should remember and learn about. Thanks for supporting my channel, and if you're a true crime fan but aren't familiar with Asian cases, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Although all crime cases are heartbreaking, today's case is something I wish never happened and only existed in a TV drama. Netflix's revenge drama, The Glory, depicts school bullying scenes. In the drama, Park Yeon-jin, a principal bully in Moon Dong-eun's senior year, burns Moon's body in the school gym with a hair curler in retaliation for Moon reporting Park to the police. Many were wondering if bullying really goes to such extremes in South Korea, or if it was exaggerated to suit the narrative. It turns out that bullying by burning was actually inspired by a true story.
여중생이 동급생 친구들에게 20여일 동안 상습적으로 폭행을 당해 온몸이.
This drama's depictions of abuse were reminiscent of the hair curler bullying incident that took place in May 2006 at a girls' middle school in Cheongju, North Chungcheong Province. Today, let's take a look at the similar case that may have inspired the drama series. An ordinary day in May 2006, the Chungbuk Provincial Police Agency received a report from a 16-year-old middle school student surnamed Chung from Cheongju. As she pleaded with police officers to save her, she cried out in pain. They observed the girl's condition and realized she needed help after finding bruises and wounds that appeared to be serious. The nightmare began on May 2nd, 2006. After school, Chung was getting ready to head home. It was then that three of her classmates suddenly stopped her and began asking her questions. She was not close to those girls, and she was a shy girl, so she preferred to remain silent instead of answering back. It is likely that this annoyed the girls, and they started beating her up. And the beatings and unthinkable torture continued for the next 20 days. According to Chung, they constantly asked for money from her. When she was unable to provide them with the amount of money they requested, she was severely beaten. They would knock the victim around using a baseball bat and scratch the victim's chest with a safety pin, which left scratch marks all over her chest area. They physically abused the victim with their fists and feet, leaving bruises all over her body. The abuse even went to the extreme of scorching the victim's arms and legs with a hair curler in the classroom. Here, as hair curlers can be heated as high as 200 degrees, they can cause severe burns. The month-long physical abuse also resulted in a protruded tailbone, leading to a 6-week hospitalization. During an interview with a local news outlet Newsis at the time, the victim stated that she had no time to heal her wounds because the bullies would burn her body every few days and use her body to check the curler's temperature. The victim added that the perpetrators even peeled her scabs with their nails as a form of punishment. She also revealed that her main abuser tortured her with a hair curler, while the two other perpetrators held both of her arms so that she could not move. When Chung screamed in pain, the main culprit surnamed Kim threatened to kill her if she made any noise. A police investigation was launched, and 3 girls named by the victim were questioned. All 3 girls vehemently denied any wrongdoing. Initially, police hit a wall in their investigation as the victim's testimony changed, and she implicated 3 other girls in her abuse. However, it turned out that the victim had been forced to name 3 random classmates by her main abuser, Kim. Another serious problem arose from this as the names of the girls who were not relevant to the case began to circulate throughout online communities. The innocent girls and their families were subjected to a barrage of hate calls and threats. However, police were able to identify the perpetrators when Kim, the primary perpetrator, unexpectedly confessed to all the crimes. Kim described what she had done in detail to the police. She was later charged with assault. On June 2nd, the Cheongju District Court issued an arrest warrant against Kim, citing the brutality and gravity of the incident. How could her classmates and teachers not have known anything about this? According to the police, Kim acted as if she was the victim's best friend, having her tag along with the group and doing everything together. Her classmates and teachers were shocked when they found out that her best friend had abused her in such a horrific way, and they did not suspect anything wrong with the relationship. Public outrage ensued when school authorities were busy defending themselves by denying knowledge of any abuse instead of investigating it. They said they spoke to both sides but received contradictory stories, so they turned over the case to the police. The victim's father was enraged by this, and he filed a complaint against the school, saying the school's investigation cannot be trusted. As a result, the school and teachers were also given administrative penalties for poorly handling school violence, according to reports. How were the perpetrators punished? Kim was the only one arrested, but she was later placed under supervised watch, which technically means she had to be monitored by her parents or a probation officer. This does not leave a criminal record. The other perpetrators were placed under the care of their parents. The court cited the fact that it was their first offense as the reason for putting them on probation. During a tearful interview with local media, the victim's father said she suffered nightmares and woke up screaming in the middle of the night. Although she kept silent about the horrible things that were happening to her at school, one day she quietly told her father that she wanted to transfer to another school. He said in the interview that he regretted not paying enough attention to her desperate request back then. According to data compiled by the Ministry of Education over the past 5 years, school bullying cases that have been investigated or viewed by the board have increased from around 31,000 cases in 2017 to 44,000 cases last year. During this period, 150,000 students were subjected to school violence. 68% of the cases did not even leave a trace on the perpetrator's student record. Only 2% of the bullies were transferred to another school, and 0.1% were expelled. In July 2021, there was an incident where a Mongolian middle school student in Busan was forced to drink alcohol, tied up, and beaten by her classmates. The bullying lasted nearly 6 hours and was filmed. There were even disparaging remarks about the ethnicity of the student. In the recorded video, the bullies left drawings on the victim's body, forced her to drink her urine, and fed her cigarette butts. But the teens were not punished with a proper jail term for this horrible abuse. The perpetrators were only punished with social service. Again, it left no criminal record. When it comes to bullying at school, it's very unlikely that the victims will tell what's happening at school to their parents or the police because they're scared of the consequences. Also, with the harshest punishment for school violence being expulsion, victims feel perpetrators get off too lightly, further discouraging them from reporting it. Like Kim posing as the victim's best friend while secretly torturing her, bullying mostly occurs under the radar of adults and peers, meaning that these peer-to-peer abuses require more attention and care. That was the case about a student in Cheongju who had to undergo horrible torture by her classmates, which many pointed out was probably the real-life case that inspired the Korean drama The Glory. The victim will continue to suffer from the scars left on her body and the horrific memories of the abuse, but her abusers, who would have turned 33 by now, will probably be living as a mother, a wife, and a good friend to those around her. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.